welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are a returning viewer, hey boo hey. If you are a new viewer, get comfortable, grab yourself a healthy snack. I think you're going to be here for a while. And if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscription button below. That's a tongue twister. Because I think you're going to enjoy what you hear. All right, let's get right into it. I told you all in my last video that there was an order of operations that I would do in these videos. And so I'm hoping that I stick with it, but I believe that as we progress in this space of updates, it'll change. So let's get straight to it. Last week when I weighed in, I lost. Okay, tongue. Okay, wait a minute. Did not think I'd go that long. 1.2 pounds. Can I tell y'all something? A long time ago when I was doing Weight Watchers, I had been losing weight like 13 pounds, 15 pounds, 5 pounds, 7 pounds, like big numbers. And one day I lost 1 pound. Why did I leave and go home disappointed? We're going to talk about that in another video. But if I had to summarize the moral of me sharing that story is that once I understood how much it takes to lose a pound, and also that the healthy recommendation is to lose no more than 2.5 pounds a week, I was like, why was I so mad? Like, why was I that mad? You know? So when I lost 1.2 pounds now, fast forward to a more mature version of myself, I understood that that was a win. It's a win because of how much work it takes to lose a pound. And it's a win because I know that the scale does not always tell me about the other wins in my life, right? So the inches that may have come off, the behavior change that I may be cultivating, those things aren't reflected on the scale. In addition, that number really doesn't mean anything to me. Like the number of how much I actually weigh, it doesn't mean anything. So I lost 1.2 pounds. Some of my wins from last week include I let myself eat, okay? And this is the topic of today's video, so I will double back to this. But one of the wins that I had last week is that I let myself eat. What do you mean, Alicia? Again, to not jump ahead of the video, I am changing my relationship with food. I may say this later, but over this past week, I had steak. I think I had spaghetti. I want to say I allowed myself to drink 1 or 2 of my ginger ales just because I wanted it. Maybe one of those times I needed it, but I was like, I just want a ginger ale, right? Another win is that I tracked. I told you all I would track. I don't have my tracker in front of me. I imagine myself showing it to you all, but I wrote down everything I put in my mouth, okay? I did not write down the point value of everything because some things I kind of just was like quickly doing, but I made sure to write like, this is what I ate. So that is a step forward in the goal of tracking. I worked out every day. Again, it is absolutely becoming a part of my routine. It is a stress reliever. It is a place that makes me feel really good about myself. It is a necessary meeting that I am creating in my schedule that puts me first. It's a priority. My day does not flow when I don't work out. Does that mean I can't work out in the evening? No, I can. But I love when I get to my workout in the morning because it helps me set the tone for my day. And so making the decision to work out isn't difficult. In addition, I'm really happy. This is just like a bonus plug because one of the days I had like a moment where I was like, oh my God, I feel kind of sluggish, you know, that time of the month for women. And I was so happy that I've been public about my journey because one of my friends randomly hit me up and was like, you wanna go for a walk? And it was like the accountability that I needed that day, you know, like where I almost was like feeling sluggish, feeling bloated, tired, just like you could take a day off. And you can take a day off depending on what you're doing. I'm not telling you have to work out every day, but it was just so nice that like someone else kind of like, you know, chimed in and I was like, yeah, let's go, let's get it. Another win is that this week I added jump rope. I'm going to insert a little clip of me jumping rope. My friends and I are officially starting a challenge. It is called 30 by 30. So we are going to jump for 30 minutes every day for 30 days. We briefly looked at the benefits of it online. We watched a couple YouTube videos, and it is one of the most amazing ways to shrink, or like shred, not shrink, shred extra fat. And so if you would like to join me on this challenge, feel free to follow me on my fitness page, which is at Thick Educator on Instagram. I'm going to start posting things on my blog under the fitness panel. So you have a lot of places that you can just tag along, comment, see the pictures, things like that. But we are doing 30 minutes every day for 30 days. And so super excited about that because I feel like a child again, but I absolutely can see the benefits of it, because one of the goals, which I'll talk about in a minute, that I have is to up my calorie burning goal. And I see that jumping does that for me. While I was walking, doing 4 miles, I was closing my move goal, but with the plan to move my move goal up, the walking would not suffice. So this came at like the perfect time. So my last win was that I made good food choices while not stressing point value. So though I tracked everything I ate, and I didn't look up the point value for everything I ate, I did make good choices, which meant, my goal last week was to write down what I ate. So the type of person I am, I might find a loophole and be like, well, I'm writing what I had, and I had a Snicker, or I had ice cream. But in my head, I was like, I'm still going to make good choices with what I pick, right? So that was a win for me, because I do know that with changing my lifestyle, it's really easy for me to buckle and give in and just eat what I want, which further tells me that this fitness journey is about disciplining not only my behaviors but my desires, this flesh of mine, and being in complete control over what takes place in my temple, right? So next week's goals. Remember that my goals also speak to possible obstacles or things that I did not do last week. And instead of making it a negative thing, I am setting it up as a goal moving forward. Instead of hounding on the fact that I did not meet this mark or I dropped the ball in this area, I'm looking at it as, wow, maybe if I change this, if I tweak this, next week I'll see more results in this area. So the first goal I have is that I want to track everything I eat, but I want to make sure I'm within my points that Weight Watchers has set for me. The second goal that I have is that I will do mindful grocery shopping. So I'm going to be honest with you. The video that is coming up next week, which will talk about my weigh-in for this week, like this week that you don't see, my goal was to lose 3 pounds, right? And maybe, I don't know, I'm like thinking on camera, but maybe I'll change my weigh-in day to Thursdays so that you all have my most up-to-date weight loss. I don't know. We'll see. We'll keep it as it is. It's no big deal. But my goal was to lose 3 pounds. And I learned this previous week that it was that I was working out just enough and eating just enough. So really, what's happening is that I'm in a place where my weight can be sustained. If I wanted to maintain the weight that I'm at and maybe just define my body based on the workouts that I'm doing, it's like, this is perfect. If I want to lose weight, I have to up the amount of calories that I burn, while also maybe minimizing what I eat or staying within what Weight Watchers has set for me. So I do not count calories on Weight Watchers, but for those who are following, and I want to make sure this is plain, if Weight Watchers said, hey, Alicia, you are allowed to eat 10 calories a day, I was probably exercising let's say under 10 calories. I'm trying to make sure I break this down right, which meant I'm not losing weight because I'm eating the right amount and I'm moving the right amount to balance this out. So I am keeping my healthy guidelines about what I have to eat, but I am upping how many calories I burn. The only reason why I know my calorie amount is because I have an Apple Watch. So I mentioned this post on Instagram, but My Apple Watch, when I first got it, I think I put it to like 1400, and I was never meeting the goal. I think at the time I was competing with friends and family, probably my partner at the time, and they were doing more jobs and things that required them to be on their feet. And as a teacher, there were days where I was like killing the steps, killing the calorie amount. But then there were days where my students were maybe testing all day and I didn't have to walk around as much. And so the goal was unrealistic. And so somewhere in time, I put my goal back to Apple's recommended setting of 310 calories. And so this past week, I also saw the award for 100 days of working out completed. So now I'm bringing it back to the next week goals. I want to double the calorie amount or possibly make it 900. So if I double it, I'm moving it up to 620. If I move it to 900, it's almost like tripling it. So I'm not sure yet. The reason why I'm sharing this with you is because I know that our Apple Watch, depending on who uses it or whatever like tracker you have in place, it's okay to start low to build momentum. And then once you have that momentum and that consistency, challenge yourself. So the funny thing is, I was closing my ring at 310 calories, but I was doing 500, 550, 600 calories as of recently. Not consistently, but there were days where it's like, okay, you doubled, you did 200% of your goal. So now I feel like I'm ready to make 620 a consistent goal. Possibly 700 or 900. I will let you all know in the next video. So I want to track my food and make sure the points match my daily point goal. I want to double my calorie burning goal, and I want to shop for groceries mindfully. I noticed this past week that while I have decent food choices in my house, not all of them are the best food choices. And so I want to take the time out to really sit down and say, what do I need to get and what are the benefits of what I'm eating so that I am full longer, I can handle working out, and I don't get fatigue or nauseous, which I don't experience those things. But as my workouts pick up, I need to make sure I'm eating the right things to fuel me throughout the day and through my workout. And then a goal that I did not meet, I think I mentioned this in my last video, is that I want to try a new recipe. I want one of these videos to be me showing you a meal that I'm preparing or that I've prepared that's just like, All right, so let's get to the topic. We have about 3 minutes. I'm trying to keep these under 15, but whatever. We're tracking my journey. So I'm not going to shortchange you, and I'm not going to shortchange me in being able to look back and say, wow, look at that. Today's topic is your relationship with food. This always comes up for me because I am that person that will say a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich is bad. And I know that food can't be bad. Food doesn't have a behavior. Yes, it does, Alicia. You shouldn't eat fast food. One thing I love about Weight Watchers is that it lets you choose. So in their catalogs, they have McDonald's, Five Guys, Burger King, you name it. And what they do is they have a point value for it. And so what the program does is it teaches you not that food can't be enjoyed or that you can't have a say in what you consume, but if you're going to get this burger from Burger King, let me just tell you that it's 30 points and you have a 48 daily point amount. And so in that moment, if I have 48 points a day and this burger is 30, instead of feeling like I don't have a choice to eat it, I am assessing the entire situation and I say, is it worth 30 points and it's only 12 o'clock? No. So I have said no, not because I can't have it, but because it's not the best nutritional value. It doesn't carry me from the time I eat it through the rest of the day. I hope that makes sense. So this program, without actually saying it word for word, has constantly shown me that I can eat what I want. When people try to put me on different diets, and Mom, if you're watching, I'm sorry, but she used to say, like, let's do the Atkins diet. I was so stubborn to the point that I was like, I'm not telling myself no to bread. I'm not doing keto. Sorry for people who are doing keto, because I don't believe that it teaches us to have a good relationship with food. I understand that we can lose weight really fast, but if we're creating a lifestyle, we want to shape and sculpt our body in a way that says we're going to get there. We're going to get to whatever goal we have in mind within time. You know what I mean? And so Weight Watchers showed me, and I lost weight on Weight Watchers, that I can have everything I want using proper wisdom, discernment, or simply considering how does this food play a role in my day. So I will never tell myself no to any food. Like, that's just my truth. I won't, because I know that I can lose weight with everything. I mean, even soda, okay? Like, Weight Watchers gives you the point value for that, which tells me I can have this. If I want this today, I can have it. I just need to practice some discipline. And so here are my quick tips for changing your relationship with food, as I am working on changing my relationship with food as well. I have not mastered this. I still have moments where I think something is bad and it's going to just show up on the scale. I'm working on it. And I'm sharing that with you because it is a battle of the mind. So when I said earlier that I allowed myself to eat, it's not to say I was starving, honey bun. Let me tell you, I eat throughout the week, but I would never have eaten steak. Like, I almost would make steak like this luxury item because I know that it takes 7 days for beef to process, and what if the scale doesn't reflect that I worked out because I had steak? Honey, steak also is a protein, and it has its benefits when you eat it. Enjoy it, keep moving. So my first goal in changing your relationship with food is to eat it. Eat the food you enjoy. If you are a foodie at heart, if you are someone who travels, if you are a chef, if you are a cook, or if you are just someone who comes to the table, baby, eat the food. Eat it. That's what it is here for, okay? Now, but let's go into my second goal. Research the benefits of the things you're eating. So sometimes when I'm eating stuff and I'm not sure of how I should feel towards it, even though I know all food plays a role, I want to know, like, what's the benefits of this? And I will research it right in the middle of eating it so that I can feel like, okay, so I'll give you an example of one. This week when I ran to the grocery store briefly, I was like, I really want some potatoes. And everybody I know who is trying to lose weight or who's on a fitness journey will tell you, like, stay away from carbs, stay away from white potatoes. So I'm like, let me look this up, because I love me a nice fried potato with my eggs in the morning, okay? I haven't made any recently, but baby, if I go to Rita's house, that's my mom, she can fry some potatoes, honey, okay? And so I'm reading the benefits of potatoes, and I find that, you know, they fuel you. They recommend that you eat them boiled, not fried, you know, just the way you prepare it, how much of it you should eat. But nonetheless, there are a ton of benefits in the skin of a white potato and what it does to your body holistically if consumed in moderation. And so eat the foods that you want to eat, and what will assist you in figuring out how much of it you should eat is researching the benefits of it. You can also research the problem with eating it, which I'm sure there's going to be plenty of blogs on it. But if you research the benefits, I believe that you'll eat it in moderation. So you'll know, okay, if I need to be fueled, maybe I'll eat a potato on the days that I might go long periods, without eating, versus a lazy day in, which is usually the days we eat foods like that. Number 3, I said be creative in its use and in its consumption. So being creative in how you use food could look like how you prepare it. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm going to eat potatoes, maybe, or if I'm going to allow myself to have potatoes because that's what I chose for the night, I'll pair it with something that is like, maybe I'll do a salad to balance it out. I said be creative in its use and in its consumption and how you eat it. I'm gonna be honest, y'all, I have wrote this down, but I can't remember all my points for that one, so we'll come back to it, but just remember that point. Number 4, listen to how your body responds to it. If you want to change your relationship with food, you have to also acknowledge what it's telling your body. So when I used to go to the gym before we were in the shutdown, on nights when I ate junk, or maybe like I was hanging out with friends and they ordered pizza, or we got Chinese food, and so I'm like giving myself the freedom to eat what I want, I noticed that the gym was harder, not to get to, but to like my energy was harder to get to maximum. So I was like sluggish, you know, like if I usually go in and I'm on an elliptical and I usually can knock out a mile in a minute or something, it felt like I might have been carrying a bag of books with me, and it was harder to wrap up. I would get there, but it would be later. So in my mind, my body told me you can't eat whatever you want for dinner because it affects your morning workout. Or it could have been saying, we didn't digest this. We didn't completely break this meal down. And so it's impacting your energy. So listen to what the food says to your body, what your body says about the food. If you want to change your relationship with it, don't just rule something out because the world says to rule it out, or because, you know, you think this correlates to weight gain. Really ask yourself, what does this do to my body? When I don't drink enough water, I'm dehydrated, which means I become lightheaded, which means I might get a headache, which means I won't work out. There's a domino effect. So if my body needs water to keep going with the way I like for it to go, and I feel good and my skin looks good and my hair is flourishing, why would I remove that from my routine and my diet? You know what I mean? So those are my 4 tips on changing your relationship with food. This video clearly went way longer than I wanted it to, and that's okay. And if you watched it all the way through, you are the MVP. And I wish you the best on your journey next week, or on your fitness journey. And just remember, you can start whenever. Start tomorrow. Start tomorrow at lunch. Start at dinner, because you are the greatest project you will ever work on. So if you're going to have patience for anything, let it be for your fitness journey. Let it be for your diet. Let it be for your lifelong vehicle. This is all we have. I mean, we have plenty of other things, but like, this is all we have. This is the one thing that we are always operating through and through. This is what people meet. This is what we introduce. Like, this is the greatest project you will ever work on. So don't quit on you. Try again, you know? Lastly, I'm going to say that's a win that I had this week. When I would make a poor food choice, and poor meaning like, I could have cooked, I'm like, it's okay. The next meal presents another opportunity to get it right. So don't quit on you. You are so worth this journey. Even when it's frustrating, even when it's hard, even when it's annoying, even when you're like, I just want my belly to be flat. All right, y'all, I'm logging off. Bye.